What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box presents the Cover Price Top 10. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. I mean, we're only
better late
7
than
minutes.
Never. Yeah,
we're only 7 minutes late, which means we're actually 10 minutes early.
7 minutes in heaven. We were playing 7 minutes in heaven, and we had to.
We were having a real life discussion about real life things, and then it started getting depressing. So I said, we got to get this show started on the road. So I got to find the most uplifting music I can find to play while you guys congregate. And you know what's always fun to me is just say the word. You know what? That makes me that's really upbeat. I like it. So or fuck it. Let's go Doobie Brothers on them.
Ooh.
Doobie Brothers it is.
I'll start. 1, 2, ready.
Always a good one.
That made me feel good after a really poopy kind of day. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Shout out to my man J2 Ramirez holding it down with the French. He was kind enough to hop on a guest spot on last Thursday's Shaker Show.
Did a fine job too.
Yeah, did a fine job. And he once people come in the show and start doing it and start seeing the books and the scripts that we have, and realize it's not as easy as you think.
That's right. You got to know how to read.
You gotta know how to read. Reading is fundamental. For those who remember that old school commercial, reading is fundamental. But the show is sponsored by our friends over at CovrPrice.com. Go to CovrPrice.com, sign up for a 2-week free trial, or for the price of A McRib starting.
McRib. Hey, where's that
November
graphic? Shit.
Oh, I should have. Do I have it on here? Where is it? Where is it? I'm gonna put it on here. But yeah, price guides, collections, and trends. The top 10 list, the shakers, the movers. This is the top 10 list where we go over the biggest selling books for the week ending October 10th. Wow, 12 days into October, man. The show is also sponsored by good friends over at KRSComics.com. Use the discount code LLTLB to get 15% off any KRS Comics exclusives. They had some, I hate to say fire, but they were dope books, and they all sold out except for the Ultimate Fallout book that you can still get. They were part of the NYCC virtual con they had on Sunday, so make sure you hit them up. But and as usual, look what they got dropping tomorrow. That's right, boys and girls.
Aww.
This is Venom #1 by Stan Sakai. I do believe this is the first time KRS Comics and Stan Sakai have done something together.
Yeah, it's got a little Scotty Young vibe to it.
Yeah, Stan Sakai, of course, famous, I do believe, Yosagi Yojimbo, right? That's Stan Sakai? Yep. Is that the same one? Or is that the
other?
Yes,
it is.
Yes, Stan Sakai. So, special time tomorrow, boys and girls. 2 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, okay? So, make sure this is a first for KRS Comics, and you use discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off this very interesting cover for Venom. Everything is going crazy over Venom right now. I do believe this Venom is still available too. This one's pretty gnarly. This kind of what if Venom in the 40s, but we're here to talk about Stan Sakai tomorrow, man. So check out our good friends over at KRS Comics. Somebody in the live chat, I think Nathan Duncan, reached out to me, and he's gonna he has a new comic that they're doing exclusive for that he wants to give away in the Lord. So maybe next week he's going to send us some copies, and we'll see. We'll give away something on the Lord. So Nathan, why don't you drop your info in there? I think I saw you in there earlier that they're doing an exclusive new comic. So it's always good to help out the comic community, and this way helps out our viewers too. You get some of this gnarly new stuff that they're doing, man. So once again, this is the CovrPrice Top 10, where we look at the biggest selling books, not only it's a mixture of units sold and the percentage of price sold. So a lot of times people's like, how come this book isn't on there? So it's also, it's got to be it's got
to sell a lot of copies.
It's got to sell copies, but it has to have a large price jump as well. You know what I mean? So, but hey, it's our list. We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want.
So, as always, there's a runner-up to the top 10. What do we have for this week's runner-up?
This week's number 11 is the Department of Truth number 13, the New York Comic Con. Javen Jordan published just this month, I believe. And this homage to Dr. Dre's The Chronic was probably the biggest winner of the NYCC's exclusives. It sold 11 copies. It had a 7-day trend of 136%, and it had a high sale of $170 for a raw copy.
I didn't know this existed, but now I want it.
Yep,
I need this in my life. Any homage to Dr. Dre and The Chronic, of course, will never outdo the Doctor Strange hip hop variant. That is, looks literally dead on. Plus, Doctor Strange, The Chronic, Dr. Dre, it all goes in a sense. But you know what? Hey, we'll give you, we'll give you something. But so apparently there was some NYCC exclusives that weren't just KRS Comics exclusives. So from what I can tell, the show was a success. There was a ton of people there. So hopefully that we'll be seeing a lot of videos pretty soon. As far as I'd be curious to see because there are some haul videos from the friends of the channel that they put up. And I'd be curious to see how prices have changed, right? Because we haven't had a really major show since the giant kind of jump in prices of comics. You know what I mean? I wonder if booth retailers are doing that as well. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I know Justin, because you've been to a couple of shows. Have you seen what these kind of mini shows are reflective of what we've seen as far as online sales? Are they just going off of their own, or is there an accurate reflection?
I think it depends on the show. Like I was at that King Kong show here in New Jersey, which was put on with a lot of Instagram or YouTube people. They were selling books for, to get rid of them. They weren't selling them at those high prices that we were seeing in like the beginning of the year. I go to a monthly show here in New Jersey. Those prices are those big Silver Age blue chip books that you see. I still think those prices are out, but they are dropping. A lot of stuff is definitely settling down to where people can actually buy books in the market again, I feel.
Yeah, because I think another reason for the pandemic price increase was the lack of shows, right? Literally 2020, there was no big conventions, so everything was being sold online. People were selling. From Whatnot, Justin Killing and Whatnot, and eBay, and My Slabs, and the other one, all of them. People are just. It's just people were at home. They had money to spend. And they were like, you know what? I'm just going to buy comics, and it was a reflection of that.
Didn't matter the price.
Yep. All right. So the runner-up on this, the Department of Truth, number 13, soon to be whenever released onto whatever. I think there's a show being made. It's definitely coming. I forgot what it's Netflix or something like that. But all right, let's get to the top 10. Look at this. This one is just like Ryan's herpes. It just shows up every now and then.
Shit.
This is an odd one, guys. So we got the Eternals #1 for Marvel Comics. So we are less than a month away from the film, which does look amazing. They just had the final trailer last week. The market is confidently buying up copies of the first appearance and excitement for the film as it builds. Last week, it sold 26 copies, had a 7-day uptrend of 90%, and a high sale of a CGC 9.8 for $2,200. However, this can't touch the highest sale it had back in May for $3,800. So as TiVo was saying, the market is kind of starting to correct itself. When the trailer was first released, it sold for $3,800. Can this book get back to that price? If not, then this book shows signs of the old collecting market where books hit their height during a trailer and then drop, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to hit that high like Shang-Chi did, but at least like I said, it's correcting itself.
Shang-Chi in a 9.8 was like at the highest point, 16 grand. But I also think this is a book from 1976. The Shang-Chi book was a bit earlier. Dare I say, probably less people have it, and the movie was a smash success. Whatever people think, it was it was from the Lord's crew, it was either we all rated it from like a 9.0 to a 9.6, which none of us have ever done on any movie that we've talked about. You know what I mean? I think, and it surprised a lot of people. And so and I think it just crossed 400 million globally, and that's without a China release, which is pretty amazing. It hit over 200 million. On the flip side, Venom took a huge dip on its second weekend. Although it still did 30 million. It's typically talk about there's always a percentage drop. And if right around 50-60% drop, it dropped even more than that. But then it had to go up against James Bond as well. So just an interesting time in the movies right now where we're seeing big releases in October, which we normally don't get, right? And then this Friday we're getting Halloween Kills, which I already got tickets for. That looks dope, man. Nice. I can't wait to see scary movies during the month of October. But did you guys see the Scream trailer?
Yes, I did.
I've not seen it. I saw it was available to watch, though. I'm kind of watching.
It just goes back to the same formula, man. I'm glad to see they're doing it. When Scream came out, it was like it was groundbreaking because they took the slasher genre and kind of flipped it on its head. So if you haven't, go peep out the and the boys, go check out the. And before we get to the next one, my girlfriend had never seen Hellraiser before. And so, we like to see scary movies.
I can't handle that one.
And so I said, "You never seen Hellraiser before?" I said, let's put it on. And then, dude, even I was freaked out by it. I said, "Holy shit, I forgot how creepy the Hellraiser."
It's super gory too. Like gross gory, man.
But no CGI. It was like all practical effects. It was,
practical. And that's what made it so gross.
Yeah, it's like, it's out there, man. So good old Pinhead. So Eternals, #1, coming in on number 10. What do we got for number 9?
Number 9 tonight is Brightest Day #4 from back in 2010. This book features the first appearance of Jackson Hyde, who later becomes Aqualad. This book is trending as Jackson gears up to take the mantle of Aquaman in the recently released Aquaman the Becoming series. While Jackson was I'm sorry. While Jackson's Aqualad first appears on the cover of Brightest Day number 10, which reveals his initial partial origin, which is altered post DC Rebirth, he doesn't actually become Aqualad until Teen Titans number 10, and that was published in 2016. Regardless, his first appearance of Jackson is the market favorite, and it sold 22 copies that had a 7-day trend of 113% and had a high sale of $30 for a raw copy.
Damn.
And on a side note, there's also a cover B for this. I believe it has a Hawkman and Hawkgirl skeleton cover.
Yeah, the zombie.
So is this because of the Aqualad that's kind of coming up in the new animated series that's coming on HBO Max?
No, he's been on there since the first episode, the Young Justice.
Yeah.
This is a book this is an organic thing. It's a series, okay. Aquaman the Becoming, where he's becoming Aquaman. He's going to take on the mantle of actual Aquaman. So I think it's pushing the book organically. We love to see that.
Brightest Day. I mean, you know what? There was
great
a day,
series too. What a great series.
I remember when DC was pushing like Brightest Day and the other Green Lantern stuff, and even the Flash stuff, which we really don't see anymore. It's all Batman. You know what I mean? I hope DC dips into these other ones. Was it Brightest Day or Darkest Night? Which one is it? The one that comes before or after this?
Darkest Night.
Yeah, that's a great series. That whole crossover where they're like all,
it's basically Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, but I think
but done in the DC way.
Yeah, they need to bring these other characters. Enough Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman stories. Let's they had a whole huge trove of characters.
Let me get a Plastic Man movie. Let's do something fun.
Yeah. You know what? I'm old enough to remember the Plastic Man cartoon, the Saturday morning cartoon. You remember that?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that shit was silly as hell. But all right. So number 9 on the list is The Brightest Day, number 4 from 2010. All right, next up is the book that's been burned up lately. And man, when this trailer drops, oof.
Ooh, yeah, this one was a pre-order, and people we're only getting one. So Moon Knight number 1, the John Tyler Christopher NYCC negative variant. So even though New York Comic Con has ended, many of the exclusives came from and just, heated up on the aftermarket. JTC's negative variants have always been very popular with selling out constantly. This variant is no different. It's unknown if this will be available at any of the conventions. However, online retailer ReadPop made this available via their website the week before, which allowed this book to gain a lot of traction over last week. It sold 17 copies, had a 7-day uptrend of 159%, and a high sale for a raw copy for $185. Man, if you got one, you are lucky.
Oh, and correction, it was called Blackest Night, not Darkest Night.
Ah, there we go. But the Moon Knight, man, good stuff right there. I missed out on this.
Yeah, we didn't get it either, but you know what?
You can't win them all. Guys, the link, man. There was one place that still had them, and even though they said you could only buy one, if you bought one, checked out, and then came back and bought it again, you could buy another one. So I was able to grab, I think, 2 copies. So hopefully they still send me 2. Like, they don't say like it was like something called thehall.com or something like that. Ironically, it was John Tyler Christopher who's the one who posted it on his Facebook saying, "Hey, this site still has them." And it was his book. And then, so I went over there and I was able to nab it, but damn, Roth 185. Holy cow. That is pretty dope though, man. So there was some other sites. That's why whenever you see these exclusives come out, just do a Google search, man. You may find some random website that has some for sale, like on, maybe in Canada or, what is that? 788 Comics, or is in the UK or
Beaver,
something like that.
It's a bunch.
Yeah, so you never know, man. Just, Google it if you see, and, don't go to eBay as your first thought. And, anytime that you see something, because, you may be able to find it on an online retailer, since you can't throw a stone without hitting an online retailer nowadays. So there you go. So number 8 on the list, super dope. Moon Knight, number 1, the John Tyler Christopher NYCC negative variant. I still think his Witchblade negative variant is the best one he's ever done with the Day of the Dead, but, what are you going to do? All right, what do we got for number 7? This is for my man J2 Ramirez, who's a big Deadpool fan.
Here you go, buddy. Deadpool, Black and White and Blood, number 3. The Stan Sakai 1 in 25 variant. This legendary artist, Stan Sakai, lends his skill to this awesome incentive variant, which instantly became a difficult book to find in stores. Due to demand and low supply, it sold 31 copies, had a 7-day trend of 144%, and had a high sale of $100 for a raw copy, which I agree. This is a cool cover. I like it a lot. It's very samurai.
I'll correct you before somebody in live
Sakai.
chat do it. Stands against Sakai, because somebody's gonna say it's Sakai.
You know what?
Stupid
Takei. Fuck. Sometimes I even confuse myself.
But that's interesting that Stan Sakai is doing other things now, right? I mean, because Stan Sakai definitely has a cult following. You know what I mean? So it's good to see him doing mainstream stuff, especially 1 in 25 and this kind of Japanese style that he's doing here. That looks pretty dope, man. But I dig it. I dig it. Give me more Stan Sakai. And speaking of Stan Sakai, if you joined us a little bit late, you can get this Stan Sakai variant dropping tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, on KRS Comics website. So there you go. You see how I segued? You should that's called a segue, boys and girls. So that's going to be available on KRSComics.com. Use the discount code LOTLB and get 15% off. Dropping tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. All right, what do we got for another one?
Man, this Moon Knight book just will not come off this list 3 weeks in a row. So Moon Knight number 3, as mentioned in the previous weeks, this is the first appearance of Hunter's Moon. It's unknown whether or not Marvel will take this character in other directions, but they've set him up pretty close to the good old Mark Spector. It's now holding another spot for our top 10. Sold 52 copies last week, 7-day uptrend of 93%, and a high sale for a CGC 9.8 for $190 and a little 50 cents right there.
Good book. That's 52 copies on the aftermarket. That's amazing. And I think this is the 1 in 50. I think
no, this is the regular cover. This is just regular cover A.
Is it? Oh, I think the other one is the
1 in 25.
Yeah, is the Virgin, where it doesn't have the actual logo on it. I have the 1 in 25, which is which we don't have on this list, which is still dope as well. But I'm telling you, artists love drawing Moon Knight. It's just the character is, it's just like artists love drawing Batman because of his cape or Spawn. I think the same with Moon Knight. They can kind of do the flowing cape. They hated doing Moon Knight in his 3-piece suit, but give us long flowing Fist of the Khonshu. Hell yeah. Just go look at the Stephen Platt covers, man. I hope those make a comeback. I think they already are making a pricey comeback. So, all right, number 6 on the list is Moon Knight. Number 3 coming in at number 6, and we couldn't have a top 10 list without this damn book on here. What do we got?
Well, here we go. Number 5 this week is Venom Lethal Protector number 1 from back in good old 1993. So this is a little bit of a Venom spoiler. So if you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and skip forward or pause us or whatever you want to do. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not a big one. So if you've seen the movie, then you know that Venom refers to himself as Lethal Protector throughout the film. This caused the direct edition of this first issue, of which the reference stems from, to land in our top 10 once again this week. It sold 55 copies. It had a 7-day trend of 95%, and it had a high sale of $260 for a CGC 9.8.
And I also think it's not only did he say it, but I do believe in an interview with Andy Serkis, who was the director or somebody who was involved in it, saying they asked if they were going to be adapting the Lethal Protector, which shows Venom more of a hero as it does, in prior to this, in issues, he's more of a villain. And he did drop, so somebody did ask him, and of course, the director was vague, saying, yeah, we probably may do Lethal Protector, but you can imagine they did Venom 1, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. That's another Marvel title. So if there's a Venom 3, why not call it Lethal Protector, right? Yeah. Why not? I mean, for the longest time, this was a dollar bin book, and of course, there's the error version of this too, which is, forget about it. It's way out there. But for hardcore Venom fans, That is the one thing. I think it's the all black cover, and I think in multiple printings of it, there was like a white cover as well.
There's like a gold one.
Yeah, I think it's Venom Lethal Protector, but this is in 1990. Yeah, so I remember these. I used to have like stacks of these, and I would just I don't know where they are now, but anyway. And I do believe this is a hard stock cover as well, so it's relatively easy to get a 9.8. It's
wasn't there an
9.8
error book on our Shakers list recently?
Yeah, it was
Error
the
version?
Black Error for Venom. Yeah, where it was like the ink had bled over and it made it an all black cover. So, Venom, the Lethal Protector, #1. Since we're at the halfway mark, we've got 174 of you watching. I want to create a quick message from our new sponsor, MySlabs.com.
Tired of paying 10%, 15%, or more to sell your cards, comics, and digital collectibles? How does 1% sound? Too good to be true? Well, not anymore. MySlabs.com is the web's premier user-driven marketplace for buying and selling slabbed cards, sealed wax, and now slabbed comics and digital collectibles. So the next time you're forced to pay 10% or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com and join the 1% revolution.
That's it. Join the 1% revolution, boys and girls. You want to just all you have to do is it's 1%, and then just your PayPal fees. So for those who are frustrated with eBay and the taxes they take out and the eBay seller fees and all that stuff, and you don't want to do a live sale like Justin does and whatnot, and check out our friends over at MySlabs.com, man. 1% flat rate, which is not bad. They also have trading cards and NFTs. And if you've been following the market, Marvel has been doing NFTs recently, which I think we kind of predicted. I was saying... Yeah, I was saying pretty soon there's going to be comic book NFTs, and sure enough, there are. So I don't mess with it because I don't know much about it, and I'm not going to invest my hard-earned money on that. But I remember when this first started, it was with the NBA, right? It was like video highlights of stuff, and then the next thing you know, it became like artwork, where it was like, even though you could take a screenshot of it, it has like an address to show that you are the actual owner of this particular piece of art. So, which is kind of interesting. We'll see how much longer NFTs stick around for. I mean, I don't know if it's a long-term play or not, but it's there now. So, all right, let's go with number 4 on the list.
Here's an old one I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't have anymore. Fantastic Four, number 94 from 1969. So one of the breakout stars from the recent WandaVision show on Disney Plus was Agatha Harkness. This is her first appearance, portrayed by actress Kathryn Hahn. Fans of the show were disappointed when the lead actress, Elizabeth Olsen, was quoted saying back in June as she would be shocked if the show was renewed and it was meant to be a limited series. The good news is it's a spin-off series focusing on Harkness's character was recently confirmed. Details for this new project are sparse outside of Hahn reprising her role, of course, as Agatha Harkness, and the WandaVision head writer Jack Shafinoff serving as the writer and executive producer. With the latest news and announcement combined with the unlikelihood of a second WandaVision series, sales for this one has been blowing up last week again as her first appearance sold 36 copies, 7-day uptrend of 210%, and a high sale for a CGC 9.4 of $1,500.
Yeah, this is like a double spec that's gone full circle now. Remember when it was she first appeared on WandaVision, then people started buying up this book and the other one, and now she's getting her own series. My guess is it's got to be a prequel, right? It would be great to see her, like, how she became this powerful witch, and how we saw glimpses of it, the flashback when she's like she destroyed the coven of witches. Remember that scene? But she's been around forever, so it'd be cool to see that, because spoiler alert, in WandaVision, Wanda takes all of her powers away. So, so that'd be cool. Yeah. So there you go.
A little bit of a little tease is maybe you should check out last week's Comic-Con podcast, and we discussed this, both myself and Juan the Comic Goon, on where this should land in the MCU.
Plug there. Check it out, everybody.
Magic users, and she was pretty powerful before Wanda went full on dark Scarlet Witch on her and took her shit, man. But But that one scene where it was a flashback to the coven where she like kills her mom and sucks all the other witches' powers out. Give me some more of that. I want to see that story. You know what I'm saying? So I have a feeling it's going to be a prequel, but why not? You know, they've done it with other series, or maybe going forward. I mean, come on. We got Doctor Strange going into the Multiverse of Madness and all these other magic users. Why not Agatha Harkness, man? Come on. Number 4 on the list, Fantastic Four, number 94. Coming in at number 4 from 1969. All right, next up is a super goofy book, but it's
this was on last week, wasn't it? Wasn't this?
I do believe it was
Week one of those weeks.
It was last week?
This is Marvel Holiday Special number 1 from back in 1991. And in a recent tweet from James Gunn responding to a fan's question of any shot we get the introduction of a new character in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, he responded with, I quote, "In my incredibly subjective and admittedly often odd opinion, we'll be introducing one of the greatest MCU characters of all time." This immediately sent folks speculating on who could this be, when most landed on the most powerful mutant in the Marvel comic book universe, Santa Claus. That's right. In this holiday special issue, Cerebro discovers the most powerful Omega level mutant it's ever registered, which turns out to be this Christmas icon. It sold 41 copies. It had a 7-day trend of 185% and had a high sale of $45 for a near mint raw copy.
There you go. So
Yeah,
Santa is Omega
Ho,
level
ho, ho.
mutant. Yeah, I mean, I guess people were just drawing the connection because it's a Guardians of the Galaxy Guardians, holiday special. So why not have Santa on there? You guys remember that animated movie, The Guardians, where it was like Santa Claus,
awesome.
and Santa was like this big buff dude with tats. So there you go. That's another proof. And then it had like I think it was Hugh Jackman played this weird Jackrabbit character. It was Peter Rabbit, and then Jack Frost was by Chris Pine. I love that movie. Actually, I think about it now. I really do.
Movie was awesome.
I mean, the villain was really dope too. It was like this really kind of
The Boogeyman. That was Jude Law.
Yeah, it was great voice cast for it. Guardians, man, go check out that animated movie if you haven't. It's you can watch it with your kids, and I think adults will enjoy it too. Hell, I watch it by myself, and that's a sad
Nothing wrong
reflection
with
on
that.
my own personal.
No, not at all.
Anyway.
Not at all.
All right, so Marvel Holiday Special number 1 coming in at number 3 from 1991. The first appearance of Ho Ho Ho, open up your dough, Santa Claus. All right, so there was some news that dropped this week, and it's not that news because that will probably appear next week on the Shakers list. But this news really caused the market to move. What do we got?
Prophet number 1 from Image Comics back in 1993. So it was recently announced on the Hollywood Reporter that Jake Gyllenhaal and director Sam Hargrave are going to be teaming for Studio 8's Prophet. Jake Gyllenhaal will be starring as John Prophet, a man constricted by Germans near the end of the World War II and subjected to scientific experiments that gave him superhuman strength. Hargrave will direct the film, which is based on Rob Liefeld's I Can't Draw Feet comic book. Mark Guggenheim is going to be scribing for this from the good old CW's Arrowverse, is penning the script. So that's actually pretty good because he did a great job on Arrow. This reignited sales on the Prophet Keys issues, like this first appearance from 1993 on his ongoing series. Sold 69 copies, 7-day uptrend of 142%, and a high sale for $75 and a CGC 9.8.
Nice.
Yeah. And speaking of Stephen Platt, he also did a run on Prophet, which is just incredible. It's the antithesis of Rob Liefeld's art on Prophet is when Platt took over and did his style on it. There is a really cool kind of a Chromium cover for Prophet number 1 that's a wraparound done by Stephen Platt. I think that book will probably end up picking up some steam as well. But there's some good people, and Prophet is an interesting story, man. It's like, I think this was first announced like a year ago because I remember I bought like 10 of them for like $2 each, right? But it's like news cycles, right? People forget about it, and then but once you get people attached to it, like Jake Gyllenhaal, people are like, whoa, you guys must be serious about this then. So there you go, man. Number 2 on the list is Prophet, number 1 from 1993, and hopefully you make a profit from profit. Get it? What? See what I did there?
Ah, yes.
So if profit number one is number 2 on the list, then it only has to be this book is number
Well,
one.
hell, let's round it out with 2 Rob Liefeld books. Youngblood number 2. This is the pink logo variant from 1992. And if you recall, back in May of 2020, it was announced that Mark Guggenheim was set to pen the script for this film by Studio 8. That was the last time when it landed in the number 1 spot. And though it was trending for months previous due to hints that Rob Liefeld dropped via Twitter, because he's really good at talking about himself, the market moved swiftly on this issue even back then, though the price stayed relatively reasonable. Yet this news of Jake Gyllenhaal cast as Prophet has reignited the market once again for his first appearance in Youngblood number 2, but in a much, much bigger way. Last week, it sold 126 copies. It had a 7-day trend of, get this, 157%, and had a high sale of $365 for a CGC 9.8.
Yeah, so just look out for it, because I believe it's the font and some of the background that are pink as opposed to the regular cover.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that the green logo also sold about 63 copies, but for a lower price, around $135 for a 9.8.
Yeah. Go peep on my Instagram and you'll see I have 2 of these and 4 of the other ones, and I think I have 6 or 7 other of them laying around. Hell, if you were part of the Lords of Long Box auctions over the last year,
man.
I was selling them sporadically throughout, when because I literally got like 12, 13 copies, for like $2 each. So hopefully you got them for cheap. You know what? I need to submit mine, because I have 10 of these. I have 10 of those first Midnight Sun books. You know what? Time for the TiVo to make a CGC submission. I'll ask you guys in the live chat, has their shipping times gotten better yet?
Yo, there's this huge thing about it. Like, they're randomly selecting people for this new way of doing these grades. It's so fucked up.
What do you mean?
I've been waiting since I have books from April, and then I have books from July, August, September. But yet I've seen some people on Instagram. I think it was Discovery Bay. He posted books that went in September already shipped out. It's like they're doing this new thing, and they said random people are getting it for grading. Someone did a message on Facebook I saw.
So basically, they found out your Nemesis Prime and are like, push that fucker back, right?
Yeah, I got like 125 books. I got my invoices somewhere around here.
I got 28 books out right now.
Jeez.
That Dave did for me.
Yeah, because I missed my window, because right after New York City Comic Con, was CGC at NYCC?
No, they had facilitators, but I still think it's going to be a lot less than what they're normally used to.
When they have a booth there, yeah, right. Yeah. But it's still going to be a large influx if facilitators were there, especially because getting creator signatures and then getting slabbed and everything. So typically I wait. I remember during normal convention cycles, I always try to get my books graded like before huge shows like San Diego Comic-Con or WonderCon or along those lines. Just anywhere where CGC has a booth, they get inundated with books. So, that kind of pushes everything back. But there it is, boys and girls. The top 10 plus 1 for the week ending October 10th.
God, October, man. I can't believe it's October already. I really can't.
Yeah. Actually, in Southern California, we can finally start feeling autumn a little bit. And then I see the weather report. It's going to be 87 degrees this weekend with high fire danger. So, yeah, we have that to look forward to. It's fire season. Dark Side Jenna, any last words?
Hey, as always, Tuesday Nights Rock, top 11, the best top 11 on YouTube, in my opinion. I may have a biased opinion, though, but whatever. I'm allowed to have it, right?
Justin, any last words?
Thanks, everybody. Make sure you check out the latest episode of the Comic-Con podcast, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, like that guy has right now. Episode 39 last week, episode 40 this week. It's hitting 40 episodes.
Nice.
Yeah, it was laundry day. This is the only clean thing I had to wear, so I thought I'd just.
That's the excuse we're gonna use.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, man? Sometimes I wear a Lord shirt, and I'll just turn it inside out, so it doesn't, you do that with dirty. Anyway, that's another story for another time. But hey, thanks for joining us, boys and girls. We'll be back Thursday for the Shakers of the Week, and don't miss Sunday for part 2 of the Disney Plus series leaks that were gotten from our man Mikey Sutton. Last Sunday was a huge show. 250 of you were in the live chat. Drop some nuggets. If you haven't seen that, go peep out Sunday. We're going to do it again this Sunday at 5 p.m. And he got another list for, we're going to do part 3 after that. And that one is mutant related. He's got a early list of shows that Marvel is developing for mutant characters or X-Men characters. So don't miss out the Sundays for the next 2 weeks. So Sunday at 5 p.m. we'll be doing it, but this Thursday at 6 p.m. we'll be going live with the Shakers List. Until then, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Now let's do this. Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here! We're back! Word up! Get to my job! You can't get fresher than this!
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.